Vani, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science from Dr. SNS College of Arts and Science. In the last series, we have seen the formatted and unformatted of I/O manipulators in the subject OOPS. In this series, we are going to see the concept of Java in the subject OOPS. Let's see what is Java. Java is a high-level general-purpose object-oriented programming language. It is used to develop day-to-day life apps such as mobile app, desk app, web pages, web service, games, business, enterprise, etc. Java was invented by James Gosling, and Oracle currently owns it. JDK 23 is latest version of Java. Java syntax is similar to C++. The popular platforms of Java is LinkedIn, Amazon, and Netflix, etc. Here, what are Java classes? What is a Java class? A class in Java is a set of objects which has a common characteristics and common properties. It is a user-defined prototype or a blueprint that can be created. For example, we can have an example such as a student is a class, while the name of the student is a particular of student object. A class is not a real world entity. It is just like a template or a blueprint from which the object can be created. Class does not occupy a memory. It is a group of variables that contains different types of data types or a group of methods such as data member, method, constructor, nested class, interface, etc. Let's see what are the things. What are the group of methods? With an example, we can see here. A class is a derivation. Here we can define what are all the groups in a Java class. That is such as a data member, method, constructor, nested class, interface, all together forms as a members of Java class. Here the components of Java class consist of a modifiers which can be declared as a public as well as a default access. Here the keyword used for to create a class is a class keyword. The name for a class should be begin with the initial letter, must be capitalized. The next apart from the class, the next session is a superclass. Superclass is the keyword extends from the class, such as subclass, one parent class and one child class. The next one is interface. It is a comma separated list or a class which implemented by the keyword implements. There can be one or more interface can be implemented from a class. Body is a class surrounded by within braces, curly braces. Here the diagrammatic representation of a string and a character sequence of a string. A string can be serializable, comparable, and character sequence, where the character sequence can be implemented such as a string buffer and a string builder. What are the differences? We can see. A string is a set of pool which contains a separate locations to store the variables with the same name, which can be denoted with double quotes. Here, what are all the types of inheritance levels of classes, with an example such as a single level inheritance, multiple, hierarchical, multiple level, and hybrid mode. In a single inheritance, one class acts as a base class and one class acts as a parent class. From the parent class acts as base class, and from the parent class child can be derived. In the multi-level, one acts as a base class and one acts as a parent class. From that base class through the parent class, another one child class can be derived. The next one is hierarchical method. Hierarchical method is one base class which can be derived with two child classes. The next one is multiple class. Multiple class has multiple childs which has one parent child. That child can be derived by other child nodes. The next one is hybrid mode. Hybrid has one base class and one derived class which can has other substitute classes which can be interconnected. These are the types of inheritance that are classified in Java. Here, what is a good example of for an interface and an abstract class? Let's see. Interface is a contract between interface and an implementer. Here, interface is the only method that will require a job that can be that does the job that provided by the person, whereas a implementer will provide the methods and the way to attain his job through assigning particular jobs to other persons is the implementer, whereas interface is it gathers the information and collects the information that it performs. Interface is the process where it does the work that it does the work that assigns to it, whereas the implementer assigns the task to other persons to implement the task. The other one is abstract class. Here, abstract class is the method where it copies the method and follows for the implementer follower 1 and 2 to do the process and follow the process, which can be copied and do the process to attain the method, whereas interface it follows the same process which cannot be copied. These are the differences between interface and an abstract class. Let's see what is Java regex. Regex is a it is a pattern format where it identifies a match result interface, pattern class, matcher class, and pattern syntax exception in order to find the sequence of pattern whether it is matched to its correct format. Here, what is a polymorphism and a real-time example of a polymorphism? A polymorphism is a state where the state can be modified according to the situations, such as a human behavior, whereas compared with a computer, how a human behaves according to emotional, and how the computer based on the programs that is organized. These are the best examples of a polymorphism. Let's see what are the types of polymorphism. Is a compile polymorphism can be defined as compile time and runtime. Compile time is the early binding, whereas runtime is a late binding. Compile time, here it is these types of polymorphism can be classified as a static polymorphism and dynamic polymorphism. Best example of static polymorphism is method overloading, constructor overloading, method hiding, whereas dynamic polymorphism represents method overriding. In the method overloading, we can define, we can update what are all the changes we can include the changes whatever we needed. We can be overloaded in the method overloading, whereas in method overriding we can change the what are all the changes we needed for the function we can change during Polymorphism, a dynamic polymorphism. Dynamic polymorphism represents changes, whereas static polymorphism we cannot change the method, but we can add the methods that we have to include, whereas in a dynamic polymorphism we can add or remove or update the information whatever we need. Here, what are all the typical structure of a Java? It contains elements such as document section, package declaration, import statement, interface, class definition, class variable and variables, main methods, method behaviors. These are the basic typical structure of a Java. These are the following things. That we are following Java basics. Let's move on to the other topic in the next upcoming series. Thank you for listening to this series.